All please remain standing if you are able as we sing the national anthem. It will be led by our student, Michaela Woodruff.
Oh, say, can you see stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Michaela. You may be seated. Thank you, Michaela, George French, T.J. Chapman, and the University of Minnesota Crookston Community Band and the Graduate Ensemble for lending us your musical talents today. Welcome to the commencement at the University of Minnesota Crookston. We're excited today to celebrate with you our talented and amazing students. This graduating class hails from 22 states and 12 countries. I am delighted to introduce Dr. Rosemary Johnson, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. She will be reading our commitment to the Native Nations and acknowledging the land upon which we stand.
We acknowledge that we gather as the University of Minnesota Crookston on the traditional land and water of the Anishinaabe and Dakota people, past and present. And we honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have served as caretakers of Mother Earth throughout the generations. We acknowledge the genocide and systems of oppression that have deprived Indigenous people of their lands, and we honor and respect the diverse and beautiful peoples still connected to this land. We recognize the many contributions Native nations have made as the spiritual and physical caretakers of this land. We acknowledge the histories and cultural traditions that make these ceded and treaty lands special and celebrate the talents and gifts of Indigenous people of our region. With this land acknowledgement, we affirm the inherent sovereignty of Native nations. We strive to hold our university accountable to Indigenous peoples and pledge to support and advocate for their welfare. The University of Minnesota Crookston stands with the community members of Native nations and commits to building relationships with the American Indian communities through partnerships, academic pursuits, historical recognitions, and recruitment efforts to further our commitment to promoting diversity and to create an equitable and inclusive future for this region.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor Johnson. If we have any military veterans, active or reserve service members, or members of the National Guard in attendance, please stand for a moment of recognition. You may be seated. This is the 59th University of Minnesota commencement ceremony, and it's also the 118th commencement ceremony on this campus, dating back to the Northwest School of Agriculture when we were a residential high school, which still has many loyal alumni across the region, state, and the country. We honor our long legacy of education on this campus, and we strive to do our best to serve the region, the state, country, and world in the land-grant philosophy of teaching, research, and outreach. My name is Mary Holtz-Claus, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Chancellor of the University of Minnesota Crookston. Graduates, you did it! What a great day for us to celebrate you. But it's also a great day for us, as we're here to celebrate your accomplishments and let you know how proud we are of you and your great work. Family members and friends, welcome to the celebration of this important milestone. I want to welcome those who are on the stage with me today, whose full bios are listed in the digital program. Stage team, please stand when I say your name and remain standing. Let's hold our applause until all have been introduced. From my left are Alex Anderson, Assistant Professor of English and today's name reader. Jess Bingston, Class of 2010, and President of the University of Minnesota Crookston Alumni Association. Evelyn DuPont, President of the Crookston Student Association and a junior in exercise science and wellness with a minor in coaching. Rosemary Johnson, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. University of Minnesota President, Dr. Rebecca Cunningham, and Regent Sandheims, at-large Regent Representative. Stage party, you may be seated. I'd also like to acknowledge some guests and friends we have here in the campus today. Again, please hold your applause until I have introduced all, and when I do call your name, please stand and remain standing. Crookston City Councilwoman and Vice Mayor Morgan Hipma, Community Advisory and Advancement Board members Dr. Carrie Torkelson and Teresa Gilly, Jessica Durkin, Chief of Staff for the President of the University of Minnesota, Professor Bill Johnson, spouse of Vice President Johnson, and Reg Claus, my spouse. To all of you, thank you for being here today. You may be seated. I'd like to call your attention to the color banners that hang just above and behind our stage. These banners represent our 4 academic departments and in the traditional colors of their discipline. Graduates, you may not have known this, but your tassels match the color of your department. You are now part of the academic tradition of this campus, of your chosen field of study. Also behind us are the flags from the 12 countries of our international students who are graduating today. Graduates, you have provided us with a challenging, and you have been provided with a challenging and supportive learning environment. You've embraced those challenges and taken advantage of opportunities. Many of you have conducted and presented research and scholarly work and have already contributed to the knowledge of the world. You have represented the University of Minnesota Crookston well during your time on campus. You volunteered hundreds of hours to community service. You've represented the campus in dozens of athletic events across our 4-state conference. You've competed very successfully in state, regional, and national academic competitions and developed your leadership skills in the campus organizations while completing your academic work. And you've done it very, very well. All of you have left a mark on this great University of Minnesota Crookston, and I thank you for that. After I'm done with the brief introduction, I would like to ask President Rebecca Cunningham to the microphone to bring greetings and remarks. Dr. Cunningham is the 18th president of the University of Minnesota. She leads the university's mission to educate the next generation of leaders, strengthen communities across the state, and generate discoveries that improve the lives throughout Minnesota, the nation, and the world. Under her leadership, the university is championing real-world learning as a defining element of an accessible, world-class education, ensuring that students are prepared and ready to lead, innovate, and contribute across all the sectors. Has made improving health and healthcare for all Minnesotans today and for decades to come a central institutional priority, alongside protecting and advancing the state's natural resources, with a particular emphasis on rural economic vitality and precision agriculture. These priorities are embedded in Elevate Extraordinary 2030, the strategic roadmap launched under President Cunningham in October 2025. This roadmap builds upon the university's historic strengths while setting objectives greater than anything this university has already accomplished. A renowned expert in public health, she holds a medical doctorate from Jefferson Medical College and completed a residency in emergency medicine at the University of Michigan. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rebecca Cunningham to the podium.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Chancellor Holmes-Claus, and to the class of 2026, congratulations, you did it. I'm so delighted to get to join you today. Commencement is one of the most joyous days in the life of a university. It brings together all the reasons that we exist, your achievements in learning, our contributions in knowledge and service to Minnesota and to the world. I love these flags back here and the international representation we have across this class, and to the extraordinary university community you've joined and helped shape during your time here, and you have helped shape it. I'll come back to that. For me personally, Commencement offers a chance to step back and reconnect with my own roots in higher education and the reasons I've devoted a lifetime to this calling. I hope you too can find a moment of quiet joy amid all the excitement. I know there's a lot going on. You're still recovering from exams, maybe a few post-exam celebrations. Some of you have traveled a long way to get here, and others are trying to figure out how to move out. And I talked to a student whose next part of her journey starts in 4 days from now in another state. There's a lot going on. But somewhere amid all the hugs and hat throwing today, take a deep breath and think about what it means to be right here in this moment. Think of who you are right now and how that person has changed from the person you were on the first day of classes. Would you even recognize that person now? I've kept my eye on your amazing progress and achievements during the 2 years since I've joined this wonderful university, and what a couple of years it's been. First, you were part of a nationwide cohort of college students who began your studies following an unprecedented pandemic. You're digging deep into agriculture, healthcare, education, science, business, industries that are changing quickly. Many of you have completed your coursework virtually, and some of you may be on campus today for the first time. Those of you that have studied on campus have weathered cold winter walks back and forth from class. You've adapted to the daily changes in campus life, and you've learned how to make connections with each other across a lot of differences. That takes a concrete set of skills that the University of Minnesota is committed to teaching and supporting at every level. But there's also a personal dimension to that genuine dialogue, one that requires your choice to be open to ideas different than your own, one that places a primary value on community, this community. And I'm proud and deeply moved to have watched you pass these most critical tests time after time after time. I've also been delighted to watch you grow in some ways that are more typical of a University of Minnesota education, from taking advantage of the personalized attention that Crookston staff and faculty provide, to the practical internship experience that you've gained while you've been here. Crookston class of 2026, each of you has made sacrifices to get to where you are today. And each of you has made the University of Minnesota stronger. Your ideas, your curiosity have made the campus community stronger, and your work has made the local community stronger. None of this means you have it all figured out, and that's okay. You're heading out into a world that is changing faster than ever. Technologies, external conditions, social norms, personal expectations, so much more. You will embark on careers, probably several of them, that didn't exist when some of us graduated. You'll travel farther, meet people with greater varieties of experience, and have more exposure to information than any generation before you. You will have good moments, and you will have unsettling moments. But you, as much as any graduating class, have already learned that being unsettled doesn't take you out of the game. You know a lot about being unsettled. In fact, you've probably learned the most at those unsettling moments that are the moments when you grew the most, although maybe it didn't feel that way at that time. Well, you've learned to stand on your own. I hope you've also learned that you're more likely to succeed when you stand with others. And no matter what our path, we're better when we're part of the community. With that in mind, this moment would not be complete if we didn't give our full attention and gratitude to the people who gave life and shape to the University of Minnesota Crookston community and the many communities that have formed and nurtures us. Could I ask any members of the University of Minnesota staff who are with us today to stand and be recognized? Here you go. Yeah. Thank you. Our staff do such a wide array of tasks that I'm not sure any single person knows the full variety of roles and what they represent. What we do know is that each and every one of them in their own way makes it possible for the university to achieve its mission in teaching, learning, discovery, and service. Could I ask members of our faculty who are here today to stand and be recognized? Yeah. Thank you. Here in Crookston, our faculty work side by side with scholars from around the world, our neighbors, and of course our online and in-person students. Our faculty change the world every single day, whether it's in their breakthroughs in understanding our world or the future leaders, that they are helping to create with heart and devotion. Finally, could I please ask the friends and family of our graduates to rise, if you can? I know it's a lot. But graduates, dear family and friends, it goes without saying that without you, these amazing people would not have made it here in the first place and would have likely not made it through the demanding years of their college education. And perhaps it's worth reminding us out loud that without you, our university would not be here. Some of you are already members of our university as alumni or through other channels. Today, you are all members of this amazing community and is with our gratitude for the rest of your lives. Graduates, please give our family and friends a loud and warm welcome round of applause. Thank you. And to our graduates, you have all arrived with different goals. Whether you came directly from high school or you're in the midst of your professional life to advance your skills. Whether you did most of your coursework here or far from here. And whether you'll stay here in northern Minnesota or build your post-college life elsewhere. You all leave stronger, better prepared with a degree from the University of Minnesota. And I want to add one more thought for you graduates before we get on to the heart of our proceedings, and I promise we will because it's about you. I've said a lot already about the extraordinary community you've joined and helped shape during your time here at the university. But my most important call for you today is when you leave this campus, do not leave this community. The people who were here for you, sitting side by side or in the stands, down the hall, dialing into class, and when you needed a boost, they'll be here for you wherever you find yourself when you need them. The university, which has dedicated itself to your growth and flourishing so far, we also remain dedicated to you going forward now and throughout your life, and take advantage of that. The spirit that gave warmth to your relationships here and such spark and drive to your work, it is now your spirit. So let that University of Minnesota spirit give life to all that you do in years to come. Congratulations to all of you, and please stay in touch.
May I please have graduate Louis Siegel and Cody Wolf come to the podium. They're going to give some remarks on behalf of the graduating class. And as they're coming up, I just wanted to say these two individuals have been such a joy to work with in their roles as members of the Crookston Student Association, to watch them as they've grown, and as you, as the students, have supported them through their leadership journey.
Good afternoon to our faculty, staff, families, friends, and most importantly, all of you, the graduating class. My name is Louis Siegel.
And I'm Cody Wolf. We both had the privilege of serving as your student body vice president this year.
I also had the additional privilege of telling Cody that he can't wear Crocs to a formal event like this.
And yet, here we are. But in all seriousness, thank you all for being here today. Your presence means more than you know, not just for showing up to this ceremony, but for every late night phone call, every word of encouragement, and every bit of support that carried us through the tough times when we didn't think we could make it. Because the truth is, getting here wasn't entirely easy. Some of you balanced school with work, athletics, leadership roles, or family responsibilities. Some of you faced challenges that no one else in this room may ever fully understand, but despite all of that, we all share something powerful. We kept going no matter what challenge we were faced with.
There were nights when sleep felt optional, times when assignments seemed impossible, moments where one more exam, one more deadline, or one more presentation felt like too much. And yet, here we are. Many times it may have been easier to choose the comfortable path, to put things off, to give less than our best, or to question whether we really belonged here at all. But instead, we showed up, again and again, even though it was hard, even when we were tired, and even when we doubted ourselves. And that's what matters, because this moment is not just about receiving a diploma. It's about recognizing everything it took to earn it. It's about acknowledging the resilience, the growth, and the determination that brought us to this exact point in time.
We don't always take time to appreciate how far we've come, but today we should. Be proud of the early mornings and the late nights. Be proud of the setbacks you overcame. Be proud of the risks you took, the friendships you built, and the person you've become along the way. Each of us has taken a different path to reach this stage. Some of you, like me, arrived as freshmen, eager, and maybe a little unsure.
Others, like me, found your way here later. Many of you know I transferred here as a sophomore, and at the time I couldn't quite articulate why I chose Crookston. It just felt right. Now looking back, I wouldn't have it any other way. This campus embraces you, giving you back everything you put into it and more. Crookston, both the campus and the city as a whole, have become home to me, as they have for so many others. It's in the professors who take the time to know your name and invest in your success. It's in the staff who go out of their way to help you when you need it most. It's in the friendships that end up lasting far beyond graduation, whether they start in classrooms, residence halls, or even just passing conversation. It's also in the community itself. Crookston isn't just where we went to school, it's where many of us grew, struggled, succeeded, and figured out who we truly are today. And what makes it even more special is that so many of the people who support us here once stood exactly where we are now. Faculty and staff who are alumni chose to come back and give to this place because of what it gave to them. That says something. That tells you this isn't just a stop along the way, it's something that stays with you.
And now we stand at a turning point in our lives. There's excitement in what comes next, new jobs, new opportunities, new places, but there's also uncertainty, questions that we don't have answers to yet, paths that aren't fully clear. And that can be intimidating, but maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to feel. Because if these past few years have taught us anything, it's that we don't need to have everything figured out to move forward. We've already done something incredibly difficult. We've proven that we can adapt, that we can grow, and that we can rise to challenges we never expected. We've learned how to fail, and we've come back stronger. We've learned how to ask for help and how to support others. We've learned that success doesn't always look the way we imagined, but it's still worth pursuing. And the most importantly, we've learned that we are capable of more than we think.
So, as we leave this place, we don't just take a degree with us. We take the experiences that shaped us, the lessons that challenged us, the people who supported us, and the confidence that we've all earned. To the class of 2026, this is your moment. Take it in, remember it, be proud of it. Be proud of the journey that got you here, and be excited for the journey that's next. Because whatever comes next, whether it's exactly what you planned or something completely unexpected, you are ready for it.
And to our families, friends, faculty, and staff, once again, thank you. We would not be here without you. And to Crookston, thank you for becoming a home. Thank you for pushing us to grow and for giving us more than we ever expected. Congratulations, class of 2026.
A tradition unique to the University of Minnesota Crookston is the presence of the academic torch at special ceremonies. This tradition goes back to 1968 and the first graduating class of the University of Minnesota Technical Institute at Crookston. The torch is a symbol of the shared governance between administration and students. The symbolic light of the torch represents the illuminating quality of education, as well as the educational philosophy of the University of Minnesota. As members of the Crookston Student Association who are graduating, we pass the torch to Evelyn DuPont, incoming student body president, and all the members of student government, and wish them a successful 2026-2027 academic year. Evelyn, please come forward.
On behalf of the Crookston Student Association, I accept this torch with great pride and a deep sense of the responsibility it carries as we lead the student body into the 2026-2027 academic year. This torch represents more than leadership. It represents the work, the care, and the legacy built by those who came before us. To Lewis, Cody, and all the graduates who have shaped this campus through your dedication and service, thank you. Your impact will continue to guide us long after today, and we honor the foundation you've laid for the next generation of student leaders. As we step forward, I will do my very best to carry on a tradition of excellence, one rooted in student voice, community, and the belief that our campus is strongest when we lead together. To the class of 2026, congratulations on reaching this milestone. May the next chapter be filled with purpose, courage, and opportunity.
Thank you, Lewis, Cody, and Evelyn. I appreciate and admire our students here at Crookston. In a moment, I will present the candidates for graduation, and Dr. Alex Anderson will introduce each of you before you walk across the stage. But first, a few words of direction. Graduates, the student marshal will lead one row at a time to line up for coming across the stage. Please bring your name card with you. As you come up the ramp, hand your name card to Dr. Anderson for her to read it. As you walk across the stage, Chancellor Holtz-Claus will give you your diploma holder, and the two of you will pause for a professional photograph before you continue across the stage and down that ramp. These photos will be available for you on our website for you to download a day or two after the ceremony, so there is no need for family members to try and get photos of that moment. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Class of 2026, please rise. Chancellor Holtz-Claus, President Cunningham, and Regent Hines, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the University of Minnesota Crookston, I have the pleasure of presenting these candidates who have completed the requirements for baccalaureate degree from the University of Minnesota through the Crookston campus. Student Marshal, please escort the first row of candidates to the stage. The rest of the candidates may be seated until the Student Marshal directs you to approach the stage.
Louis Joseph Siegel. Cody Christopher Wolf. Jaden Kenneth Bergerson. Michaela DeMars. Thanda Samuel. Tu Sinu Vang. Callan Ann Kensel. Chloe Nell Wad. Emma Adeline Osborne. Frahiwat Tadesse Gadamo. Vanessa Jean Caffrey. Daniel Boating. Nate Ryans. Tristan James Erdman. Adajumoke Musa. Georgia Manfreda. Nikisha Drakes. Shaniqua Nichelle Robertson. Sarah Bankson. Haley Jo Idlebees. Riley Gallagher. Catherine Jolene Newman. Alexandra Elise Stark. Riley Faith Sourdiff. Kiana Klein. Omonuola Idowu. Elizabeth Medlin. Allison Ulrich. Dana Marie Melby. Penelope Verton. Lauren Alexandra Boyer. Kelsey June Harms. Eliana Grace Cymbaluk. Jada K. Shemke. Haley Ray Schlattfelt. Cassidy Cecilia Kalka. Emily Eldoris Bruder. Sophie J. Gustafson. Brooke Elizabeth Hoven. Kristen Marie Borchert. Isabella Faith Abbas. Presley Bell Kick. Stephen John McFadden. Whitney Ann Mickelson. Caitlin Helen Larson. Jenna Michelle Seibert. Lily Ann Bossoletti. Marie Rachel Wald. Emily Nicole Dittmer. Paige Bukta. Mackenzie Andrush. Jama Ray Lawson. Riley Anna Bunderman. Mackenzie Elizabeth Clark. Natalie Mickret. Hope Elizabeth Dudica. Emma Ann Dudica. Ni Than Lu. Claire Etike McGee. Victoria Deanne Whitten. Jade M. Benning. Sydney C. Wrighton. Alexis Lynn Triebenbach. Grace Joan Swaja. Erica Nelson. Mi Ha Tran. Julia Francine Finch. Sarah J. Burgum. Michaela Ann Woodruff. Nan Viet Din. Tu Thi Cam Luong. Sikai Joe. Max Davis. Nadia B. Kai. Sydney Anne Marie Campbell. Kavya Singh. With high distinction, Hermone Yonatan Tagain. Michael Fanta Sampson. Samuel Haptamu Tilahun. Norden Vista. Sophia Chastel. Ethan Lewis Benedict. Allison Heather D. Molly Soderberg. Callie Marie Smith. Avery Larrabee. Mandy Swenson. Ernesto Rafin. Chandler Bernard Meeks. Garang Ingang Dang. Lake John Drager Jorgensen. Danielle N. Brummer. Leah Marie Johnson. Emily Josephine Hoyam. Sebastian Riley Sievert. Jeremy Nathan Pierce-Kalla. Namira Rose Moen. Emma Grace Miller. Riley Brooke Jenkins. Taryn Fraser. Annika Rose Lisney. Lily Marie Malberg. Kylie Anna Kate Nelson. Nick Scott Risberg. Jaden Bronston Kozdrewski. Drew Wesley Cassavan. Andrew Arthur Loken. Angelo Michael Pasiga. Isaac Marcus Telly. Aiden Carter Chernus. Zach Michael Tice. Aaron Oral Norland. Noah P. Mallon. Genevieve Rue. Kelly Schaefer. Lauren Elaine Holm. Devin Adams. Haley Vonisick. Allison Groth. Haley Violet. Madison Doreen Hansen. Lily Annika Dahlgren Remick. Madison Paige Hilliard. Emma Rose Williams. Connor Randy Thonis. Sumtachuku Emmanuel Abasiri with high distinction. Cole Alexander Ranson. Kaisha Ashanti Williams. Simone Wright. Jennifer Marie Ackaby. Jessica Lee Foster. Erin Marie McMullen. Melissa Renee Davis. Tabitha Jones. Danielle Rodriguez. Kelly Lynn Tarand. Robert Joseph Engel. Lane R. Hafes. Chong Her. Jake Butcher. Kathleen Shannon Kimes. Hannah Marie Jar. Johnny Wei Lee. Carson Daniel Schultes. Gannon Walsh. Julian David Nieto Pinto. Matthew Joseph Varela. Connor Thomas Rose. Brandon Lee Hamilton. Saleh Mohammed. Aiden Luciano Morelli. Alexander Lee Bailey. Jana Dynapol Tabasa. Ketty Luz Castro. Winifred Qualaba de Souza. Jessica Belter. Kayla Jean Muller. Seth James Peterson. Lexi Michelle Bruinski. Michael Hebus. Eric Wagner. Dylan Scott Neubauer. Griffin Lee Sunstegard. Jackson Jeffrey Dodds. Fox Thomas Dodds. Aiden Gary McPhee. Wyatt A. Olsonowski. Amanda Kathleen Mont. Douglas Ellis Fast. Spencer Matthew Lindo. Hunter Stephen Pearson. Hannah May Oboa. Mina Turnbow. Alexander Vu. Abraham Ahmed Krama. Jennifer Nicole Swan. Colleen Ann Kostanek. Braulio Tapia Crespo. Isaiah Lee Kelly. Hannah Rose DeLong. Brandon Joel Wendberg. Oladimeji Igbekela Oyela. Emily Marie Peterman. Reginald Womack. Charles Wakai. Sakaria Abakar Sheik. Nadria Favors. Edgar James Ibarra. Jacinta Imalife. Saeed Siraj. And Chase O'Rourke.
Regent Hines, having presented you with the University of Minnesota Crookston class of 2026, I invite you to the podium to confer their degrees from the University of Minnesota.
We're closing in on the finish here. You're going to get your degrees. Congratulations on behalf of the Board of Regents. We are tremendously proud of you. We truly are. 175 years ago, the people who were inhabiting the territory of Minnesota decided that there needed to be a university and a Board of Regents to run it. That was 7 years before the state of Minnesota existed. This university and the Board of Regents to run it, when the state was established, became part of the Constitution of the state. Education is that important to the state of Minnesota, and you are now part of the proud and honorable tradition that this university carries forward. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? We're not done yet. I have to read these words. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. The graduates may move their tassels to the left side of their mortarboards. And now, you can sit down. Woo.
Thank you, Regent Hines. Let me be the first to congratulate you all and introduce you to the alumni class of 2026. Graduates, I want you to sit back for a few moments, maybe catch your breath, and reflect a few minutes about all of the momentous changes and what a momentous time this is in your life. As we listen to the song entitled Colors of the Wind, sung by the University of Minnesota Crookston Women's Ensemble. And after the song, then, Jess Bankston, who is president of the Crookston Alumni Association, will come to the podium to share some remarks with you, our newest alumni.
Greetings, distinguished platform guests, faculty, staff, students, family members, and friends, and hello, University of Minnesota Crookston new alumni. Congratulations! You're alumni now. You are finally at the moment you've been waiting for. All the long class hours, and copious amounts of homework, the group projects that might have turned into solo projects, the treks across campus in questionable weather. Good thing it's nice out today. The procrastination that may have led you to submitting that final piece just minutes before the deadline, or printing it as you were walking into class. That's okay, you're finally done, at least with this chapter. Now you are alumni, and this campus will be forever known as your alma mater. That doesn't mean your time here has to come to a close. As new alumni, you get to sit back, relax, and wait for those invitations to roll in from the alumni office to all the premier and fun UMC alumni events, like the socials, the golf tournaments, pro sports experiences, go Wolves, go Wild, and of course, homecoming, where all our events are catered to you, our alumni and friends. The next time you come home to UMC, you get to take it in from that fresh alumni perspective. You'll be able to stop by the alumni office, say hello, see what the newest swag item is, take an easy stroll across the blooming campus gardens, grab a tasty bite to eat or a cup of coffee from the Eagle's Nest, shop the latest looks in the bookstore, check out the newest books in the library, or take in an exciting Golden Eagles sports game. Or if you're feeling extra encouraged and want to be more involved as a new alum, jump on one of our campus boards or committees, or visit a favorite professor's class as an alumni guest speaker with highlights about your career. And whenever you have those life highlights, like a new career or promotion, a new family, even a pet, awards, recognition, or if you and your classmates get together for a little reunion, make sure you snap a pic, send it over, send those updates to the alumni office, because we're there for you. And you might even be featured in the annual Torch Magazine alumni news section. I've heard it's pretty sweet. Your connection to this campus will continue throughout the future. And remember, we'll always be here for you, when you're ready to come home. Congrats again, class of 2026. Be well and do good.
Thank you, Jess. Thanks so much for your service to the Crookston Alumni Association. It's been a wonderful ceremony, and I want to offer sincere thanks to everyone who has been involved with planning today's events, especially the members of the Commencement Committee, whose names are in the digital program, media services, and to our facilities and operations staff. We know events like this, they don't just happen. It takes the work of many people to make things flow smoothly and seamlessly. So please join me in thanking them for their work. Once again, thanks to our faculty, staff, students, alumni, family, and friends, as well as the community of Crookston. We're all part of the University of Minnesota Crookston community. And thanks to each of you who came here today to celebrate the class of 2026. I want to offer a few final comments and thoughts on our newest alumni. You know, commencement is kind of a whirlwind of emotions. You may be sitting here right now, perhaps a little bit sad, perhaps just relieved that that last final was done. And I sure hope that you're all feeling pride in everything you've accomplished. And some of you might just be a little bit shocked about how quickly the time went. There's the excitement of new adventures mixed with bittersweet realities of friends heading in different directions, and maybe a few nerves about what's going to be next in my life. Well, we share most of those feelings with you. There is one that we don't feel at all, and that is an anxiety. We have zero doubt that you are ready for whatever comes next. You've earned your degree from the University of Minnesota. You've got this, folks. Please stay in touch with the Alumni Association and keep us posted on your journey. We'd also love for you to share some of your experiences with others so that we can welcome the next generation of Golden Eagles. The campus has been your home, and online, you too are part of our community. No matter where you go, a piece of the University of Minnesota Crookston goes with you. Congratulations and best wishes, and come back and visit us soon. Now, please join us for singing the Minnesota Rouser. The words can be found in your program. And graduates, I hope by now you finally know those words. And after the song, we will begin the recessional. Faculty and staff, once you exit the gymnasium, please make a receiving line on the mall to congratulate our graduates. Audience, please remain at your seats until all the graduates have left the room, and then please join them on the mall for more pictures and good wishes. We'll stay here until all the pictures are taken and the best wishes have been exchanged. Now everyone, please rise as you're able and join in singing the Minnesota Rouser. Again, the words are in your program.
Class of 2025-2026. Graduating with high distinction. Sumtachuku Emmanuel Abasiri. Miriam Amari. Jade M. Benning. Quinn M. Berger. Jaden Kenneth Bergerson. Jessica Belter. Kristen Marie Borchert. Beulah Y. Brogdon. Sarah Elizabeth Carter. Nan Viet Din. Jessica Lee Foster. Ruth Ann Freiberg. Zach Harden. Hannah Elise Hawkins. Ethan Michael Hagney. Mike Hebus. Brian Q. Ni Dang Lu. Amanda Kathleen Mont. Elizabeth Medlin. Devin Harley Messina. Natalie Mickret. Jamie Mose. Erica Rennell Nelson. Mackenzie Andrush. Seth James Peterson. Emily Marie Peterman. Jeremy Nathan Pierskala. Kaylee Pollard. Pamela K. Rabishko. Genevieve I. Rue. Taylor Ray Ryan. Joanna Mary Smith. Callie Marie Smith. Molly Soderberg. Jennifer Nicole Swan. Jada Lee Sweet. Hermone Yonatan Tagane. Isaac Marcus Telly. Justin Robert Thompson. Miao Tian. Kelly Lynn Turand. Mai Chao Vang. Brady P. Warren. Bailey Warzica. Michaela Ann Woodruff. Blake M. Zander. Sikai Zhao. Graduating with distinction. Jennifer Michelle Acosta Hernandez. Aaron Jeffrey Adcox. Zahara Muhammad Ali. Lauren Alexandra Boyer. Hannah Rose DeLong. Jackson Jeffrey Dodds. Charlotte Marie Dombrowski. Jacob Andrew Fjeld. Jacob Anthony Gregg. Allison Nicole Groth. Emily Hagedone. Cassandra Lynn Hansen. Kelsey June Harms. Erin Louise Heikkinen. Madison Paige Hilliard. Lauren Elaine Holm. Kayla Ann Jacobson. Renee Juni. Callan Ann Kinzel. Caitlin Helen Larson. Amanda Lidberg. Annika Rose Lisney. Noah P. Mullen. Michael MacArthur. Megan McGraw. Leonard Philip Meyer. Madeline Mills. Isabella Jolyn Moe. Megan Whitney Moe. Namira Rose Moan. Joseph Amon Murray. Kylie Anna Kate Nelson, Catherine Jolene Kerfman, Ty Duck Nyan, Allison Jane Offerdahl, Clint Allen Ortner, Emma Adeline Osborne, Oladimeji Igbekela Owoyela, Gabrielle Alana Pavarud, Jaden Renee Pearson, Jack Bradley Peterson, Luke Timothy Peterson, Connor Thomas Rose, Kelly Schaefer, Jada K. Shemke, Mason Schwartz, Devin Sigala, Madison Nicole Smith, Grace Joan Swaja, Samuel Habtamu Tilahoon, Alexis Lynn Triebenbach, Jace Ralph Twodowski, Tu Sinu Vang, Anastasia Zubareva, Isabella Faith Abbas, Abduali Elias Abdullahi, Jennifer Marie Akabi, Sarah Ahmed, Kasim Amatayo Akimpelu, Isa Ali, Austin Ryan Anderson, Emily Lee Ann Anderson, Gina Lee Anderson, Spiria Andrews, Cadence Grace Andrist, Arlith and Gwari, Yuval Ashkenazi, Ryan Owen, Alexander Lee Bailey, Amber Ballard, Cody Michael Barker, Eva G. Basie, Ethan Lewis Benedict, Jocelyn Nicole Bennett, Aaron J. Bennett, Jackson W. Bennett, Lindsay Nicole Benson, Gabriella Valentina Betancourt, Sean Michael Beversluis, Tyler Jason Bill, Norden Bista, Charles Wakai, Brenna Bozel, Ahmed Bonduk, Lily Ann Bosseletti, Jacqueline Brembilla, Kayla Robin Brecken, Lexi Michelle Bruinski, Emily Eldoris Bruder, Danielle N. Brumer, Sarah Elizabeth Booker, Paige Bukta, Riley Anna Bunderman, Akil Burgess, Sarah J. Burgum, Danielle Victoria Burton, Dominic M. Bouchard, Connor Clinton Bushbaum, Jake Butcher, Vanessa Jean Caffrey, Sydney Anne Marie Campbell, Jack Carlson, Drew Wesley Cassavan, Tori Marie Castagneri, Ketty Luz Castro, Nate Lawrence Christensen, Aiden Carter Chernus, Christopher John Clark, Mackenzie Elizabeth Clark, Alan Kokulova, Mitchell Allen Coleman, Michelle Cortez Dominguez, Corsha Couch, Melissa K. Kuka, Eliana Grace Simbaluk, Brooke Davis, Max Davis, Melissa Renee Davis, Michael Samuel Davis, Samantha Louise Davis, Allison Heather D, Michaela Demars, Garang Ingong Dang, Emily Nicole Dittmer, Fox Thomas Dodds, Nikisha Drakes, Nicole Dries, Joelle Lauren Druyard, Emma Ann Dudica, Hope Elizabeth Dudica, Joshua Wayne Dykoff, Haley Joe Idlebees, Jacinta Imalife, Lillian Chloe Ensminger, Tristan James Erdman, Morgan Ernst, Kristen Evans, Douglas Ellis Fast, Nadria Favors, Jalen Ferguson, Julia Francine Finch, Camilla Ignacia Flores Sanchez, Michael Rose Fox, Taryn Frazier, Jennifer Marie Gade, Sarah Lynn Gales, Riley Gallagher, Megan Alyssa Gardman, Darren Christopher Gaudet, Frahiwat Tedessa Gedamo, Daniel Mark Gilchrist, Christina Sydney Gile, Joseph Patrick Gilmartin, Zarni Go, Kenley Gordon, Haley Nicole Grasser, Eduardo Guerra, Sophie J. Gustafson, Robert Marshall Hackett, Winifred Qualaba Halm D'Souza, Brandon Lee Hamilton, Gavin Michael Hansen, Madison Doreen Hansen, Nicholas Gordon Hansen, Cole Harvey, Chelsea Haas, Ayantu Hussein Hassan, Jill Catherine Heldebrandt, Susan Rosie Helvig, Chung Her, Justice James Hicks, Lydia Louise Hodgson, Lane R. Hefts, Sarah Hextra, Maya Marie Hoheisel, Ian A. Hull, Emily Josephine Hoyam, Brooke Elizabeth Hoven, Aaron Hunt, Blythe Indigo Huskin, Sydney Marie Hugh, Edgar James Ibarra, Nashwa Mahmood Dawood Ibrahim, Amonuola Iduo, Robert Joseph Engel, Graham Donald Yeager, Hannah Marie Yar, Riley Brooke Jenkins, Kimberly Joe Jessica, Curtis Daryl John Johnson, Leah Marie Johnson, Haley Grace Johnston, Tabitha Jones, Lake John Drager Jorgensen, Sophie Dolores Gentinen, Cassidy Cecilia Kolka, Hope I. Kanenwisher, Colleen Ann Kostanek, Jaleeza A. Kelly, James Kellner, Isaiah Kelly, Katie Kemper, Abrar Shahriar Khan, Presley Bell Kick, Kathleen Shannon Kimes, Kiana Leah Klein, Abigail A. Klokstad, Jada Kosick, Jaden Bronston Kostrowski, Philip Wayne Kobokolski, Alex Edmund Kazitka, Joseph Koslowski, Autumn Ann Crome, Abraham Ahmed Krama, Owen Xavier Krotzer, Nadia N. Kai, Amaria Devon Lampkin, Avery Larrabee, Tyler Larson, Jama Ray, Johnny Hui Lee, Paying Lee, Graham Henry Ledeen, Maya Joyce Lindesmith, Spencer Matthew Lindau, Alex Richard Logan, Andrew Arthur Loken, Joseph Issei Lopez, Catherine Jones Lord, Tyler Lucas, Tu Thi Cam Luong, Giovanni Machuca, Lily Marie Malberg, Clint Kyle Mon, Georgia Manfreda, Caitlin Matthias, Stephen John McFadden, Claire Etuke McGee, Kayla Marie McGivney, Aaron McMullen, Aiden Gary McPhee, Christina Renee Meehan, Chandler Bernard Meeks, Rachel Minders, Dana Marie Melby, Carla Renee Mertz, Rebecca Lucille Meyer, Timothy Meyer, Whitney Ann Mickelson, Emma Grace Miller, Josie K. Mills, Isaac Stephen Mize, Brian Joseph Molodashniak, Kayla Jean Moeller, Mahmoud Muhammad, Salah Muhammad, Cade Johnson Moylanen, John Sebastian Moore, Robert Clayton Moran, Aiden Luciano Morelli, Kaya J. Morinville, Jeremy Michael Morris, David Brian Lee Muirhead, Adejumoke Alapeju Musa, Ryan Charles Musil, Joshua Meyer, Dylan Scott Neubauer, Savannah Nixich, Michelle Lee Neiman, Julian David Nieto Pinto, Aaron Oriel Norland, Allison Nornberg, Hannah May Obowa, Kyle E. Odenbach, Zolchilt Nahavas Ogera, Glenn Edward Aller, Allison Olson, Wyatt A. Olsonowski, Hafsa Omar, Osamwinse Joseph Anaganor, Chase O'Rourke, Samir Shyam Pela, Dana Piov, Kyle Peters, Sophia Hexa, Lisa Now Fa, Hunter Stephen Pearson, Haley Rose Peller, Rebecca Lynn Provencher, Ernesto Raffine, Cole Alexander Ranson, Hannah Ravness, Sydney C. Brighton, Shannon Lee Ryder, Nathaniel E. Ryans, Nick Scott Risberg, Shaniqua Nichelle Robertson, Danielle Rodriguez, Lily Annika Dahlgren Remick, Isaac Matthew Roars, Hannah Rose Rowe, Shirley Marie Ross, Jonas Rossing, Amber Roswag, Matthew David Rosel, Brock Adam Ridberg, Rachel Salzer, Michael Fanta Sampson, Thanda Samuel, Lily Sandman, Riley Faith Sourdiff, Faith Schaefer, Marissa Marie Sheeb, Haley Ray Schlattfeld, Andrew Thomas Schmidt, Tyler Charles Schreier, Brooke A. Schubert, Daniel Anders Scott, Americo Scolati, Maya Marie Seeger, Jenna Michelle Seibert, Sakaria Abakar Sheik, Dana Shiggety, Sophia Chastel, Carson Daniel Schultes, Louis Joseph Siegel, Sebastian Riley Sievert, Kavya Singh, Saeed Siraj, Megan Isabel Smith, Timothy Smith, Griffin Lee Sonstegard, Ireland Reese Spencer, Alexandra Elise Stark, Daniela Stein, Jory Simon Strack, Zachary Tyler Stupnik, Adaria Leanne Sutton, Mandy Swenson, Logan Syrup, Jana Dinapol Tabasa, Braulio Alejandro Tapia Crespo, Brianna K. Tower, Shannon Kylie Terrell, Zach Michael Ties, Connor Randy Donis, Jerry Torres Bravo, Yasmarie Torres Reyes, Mi Ha Tran, Jewel Ciara Boog Terman, Allison Ulrich, Caitlin Rose Urick, Matthew Joseph Varela, Penelope Verton, Devin William Venel Mogul, Haley Violet, Michaela Joy Velker, Haley Margaret Vanasek, Ni Di Ha Vu, Alexander Vu, Chloe Nell Wad, Eric Wagner, Emma Ray Wald, Marie Rachel Wald, Gannon P. Walsh. Brandon Joel Windberg. Robert West. Alexander James Westby. Gregory Raymond Wetzel. Victoria Deanne Whitten. Erica Diane Whitaker. Katie Weiss. Emma Rose Williams. Kaisha Ashanti Williams. Michaela Marie Wisco. Connor Eugene Washkowski. Cody Christopher Wolf. Reggie Womack. Simone Shadea Wright. Mao Vicky Yang. Sheen Wei Yu. Amal Muhammad Yusuf. Tyler Lane Sadraka. Yan Hong Shang.